Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Titan Chain snow tire chains with V-bar support links here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. So this is going to be an excellent way of biting through that heavy-duty snow and ice that we might be experiencing. Now obviously your V-bar is going to be your aggressive style chain to really start churning through that snow and ice. Again, those icebreaker V-bar links just do a great job of breaking it up. If you're comparing this to something like a twisted link, you just have those V-bars there that start puncturing it through it. And again, like I said, really nice to get that traction that we're really looking for. Definitely gonna be a little more aggressive, especially compared to more of your just traditional square links, like I said. But we also are getting a ladder style chain on here. What does that mean for us? Well, if we take a look here at our chain, we can see I have these big gaps where almost my whole hand can fit between each one. Now what that's gonna do for us is create this kind of hills and valley feeling that we're gonna have. And we're definitely gonna feel it every time we have to roll over it. Now it's excellent for your start and stop maneuvers, right? Really nice that we're getting that traction control that we're looking for. However, if you're starting to do a little bit turning with this, you're going to feel yourself having to overcome those hills and valleys every time. So that requires just a little bit more acceleration, and that can lose you a little bit on that turning radius. So gonna have to look at something like a diamond style link to make it a little bit better. And on these bigger tires, those diamond styles are just a little bit harder to find. You're predominantly going to see these ladder styles become more and more common on these bigger tires as you're seeing, but that doesn't mean they don't do a good job. Like I said, you're still going to get really good traction control. It's going to be a less of a smooth ride, but again, we're really looking for something that just gets us there safe and sound, right? And these areas are definitely going to do it. It's going to have a low carbon steel construction on here. All that means we're going to see a little bit of wear and tear on these guys, so it's going to be really important for us to do a little maintenance. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, especially getting all those chemicals, all that salt, any of those sprays off of your chains is going to be really helpful. Just getting them off, spritzing them down, that way we don't have all those corrosive elements on there. And to that end, a little oil and grease in the off seasons can really go a long way of making sure that your chains are ready the next time that you need them. Now we have a couple caveats to kind of get out of the way here of where we actually have ours installed. So predominantly we are going to have a four-wheel drive system for our Jeep Gladiators. Now the safest thing to do is just to go ahead and grab yourself two pairs or two sets of chains. That way you have one for the front and back. To that end, makes it a lot nicer, but if you're looking at, well, I only can really get one right now, I would go ahead and suggest putting it here in the front. A, you're gonna have steering. B, as your car kind of comes to a stop, right, the momentum of our vehicle is gonna push all that weight forward onto these front tires. So that's what's gonna be really nice about these guys, is gaining that traction control, and again, just helping out a little bit with that steering. Well, one thing that's nice about these guys too, they don't take too much time to actually get installed. Let's go ahead and see how we can get them on. To begin your installation, what you want to do is lay out your chain just like so. What we're looking for here, any kind of binds or kinks that our chains might have had while they're in storage. Now the V-bars tend to find themselves just kind of hooked on each other a little bit more often than the rest, so can take a little bit of time just to work them out. But once you do have that all laid out nice and pretty, the other thing you're looking for here is making sure your cams are towards the outside of your vehicle. That way we can actually access them while they're on our tire. And to that end too, we have one last little caveat to get out of the way. We want to make sure that our soft points of contact are facing towards the ground, and the hard points, or the folds over here with our chains, are facing towards us, because we are going to be setting this on top of our tire. We don't want those hard points of contact making contact with our tire, as that can end up kind of damaging them, fraying them, and potentially puncturing them, and we definitely don't want that. Now we just need to bring ourselves to the center of our chain and begin to set it on our tire. I like to kind of wing my arms out, makes it a little easier to make sure I'm not interacting with my rim. And then we just want to lay that there on our wheel, doing the process on the other side as well. And then we just kind of want to fit this here on our tire, making sure that our bottom connection doesn't get caught up as we make that back connection. But now that it is looking like it's sitting on there pretty well, we need to bring ourselves to the other side of our tire and make our first connection. We have our open hook and of course our extra chain. All I want to do is simply take that, set it at point. Now the thing is, this could take us a few tries to make sure we're getting the right length for ourselves. I'm just going to go ahead and leave about 3 extra for now. Now later on, if this does end up being the perfect fit for us, we want to come back and actually remove these older, longer chains, because that can start interacting with our rear or our back strut here, and it's just going to be another noise complaint, nothing to get snagged. So not quite yet. Let's make sure we have a good fit, but let's remember to go ahead and snip these extra bits. With our back connection made, we begin to make our front connection here with our cam lever. We simply want to take our extra chainage, set it in place, and pull it back. I can see I have a little extra slack there, so I'm gonna try to get that last bit of chain. And as I get that set, I want to try to pull it down towards the end of that lever, getting our extra out of the way. And now I need to pull back this lever and at the same time try to make this connection here to my extra chain. So as it stands, I can see I'm getting a little pinned in here. And I think that's just because of how our wheel's sitting, not allowing this extra chain to actually go where I want it to. But let's see if we can't make this work. Using both of those thumbs, I was able to get that connection. Now we're looking pretty good. And of course, we need to grab our cam lever and start tightening up our cams. To do that, we just insert it, rotate them like so, bringing our chains in line, and we just need to repeat that process all the way around as much as we can. Let me see if I can get one more here. We are feeling nice and tight. However, can always be important to get a little bit more. And to this end too, I think as we rotate our tires just once or so, or get in our vehicle, we're gonna release a little bit of tension here at the bottom. So honestly, as it stands right now, these cams might be as tight as we can get them just for this second. Now, like I said, all we need to do, kind of rotate this once, and we probably would get just a little bit more, but definitely can't get this bottom guy unless I drive this guy forward. And as it stands, we are nice and secure. I love how those cams are. And there we go, nice and flush all the way around our tire. Well, overall, that install really doesn't take too much time. I'm a really big fan of these cam systems. You can see how well the job it does of taking all that slack out, making sure that we're staying nice and tight here on our wheel. That way, we get that traction control that we're looking for. Again, the V-bar links are excellent. If you're not needing something as aggressive as these, because they can actually damage your road, we don't actually be driving around any kind of road element or garage, cement, that kind of stuff. It'll start doing a number on it. Maybe starting to look at your twisted link and down into that square link if you guys do find yourself just having to actually drive on a little bit of pavement. But again, if you have that heavy duty snow and ice that you know is going to be in your area and you know you have to get through it, these are going to be an excellent way of making sure that we stay safe on those roads. Otherwise though, guys, I think that about does it for our look here today at the Titan Chain Snow Tire Chain with V-bar links and cams here on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.